Right.
So what we're doing today is we will go through the methods of explaining to customers how to determine the functional aspects of additives in a visual format so that they can see for themselves what the XP3 product line does and how it compares with their reference point with an additive that they might have used in the past.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first test that we do is a carbon detergency test.
Yep.
If you look on the bottom of pop cans, these are just Pepsi cans.
Yeah.
On the bottom of pop cans, there's carbon-based ink. And we use that as a way to determine if an additive has high carbon detergency value or not.
Right.
Often the additives that your customers might be using or compare to will have the ability to break down the carbon, which is good because it shows that they've bought something that is currently working from a functional standpoint. But then as we move forward for the other tests, you'll see that XP3 is superior. So what you do is in this situation, you put a little bit of the additive in the concave area of the pop can. The pop can should be empty as well.
Yeah.
Something that we want to make sure you're aware of. And then the XP3 on the other can. And you can see right away, without even agitating it, depending on the angle, you can see a little bit of breaking down on the XP3 and no breaking down on the competitor's additive. So then you can agitate it by just making it go around and around like this.
Yeah.
So this is enough to say that this specific product failed. And then here, you can see the carbon-based ink breaking down. And the reason that's important is in an internal combustion engine, be it gasoline or diesel, you want the internal engine parts to be as close to original specification as possible for that engine to operate at the peak efficiency that it was designed to operate.
Right.
If you have a set up like this here. If you have 1 millimeter of carbon deposit on the cylinder heads, the air to fuel ratio will change in that combustion engine, meaning that your engine will no longer operate as it was designed. And of course, anything else that is in the engine, you would want to have cleaned out to have no carbon soot or deposit. Now, the next test is the burn efficiency test. I'm going to put on an exhaust fan because when we burn these, it makes a lot of smoke. So if there's background noise, that's just the exhaust fan going on.
Yeah.
So I recommend that you use like a torch, not just a lighter, but a little torch that has a strong flame to it, so that some additives actually take a while to catch on fire. Now I'm going to burn the XP3 first by itself, so that you can see the clean burning flame. So a flame that is light in color and emits little to no smoke is a high efficiency burning additive. I'm going to check the temperature on my phone here so it doesn't heat my phone too much. So you can see how clean and clear this flame is, and there is no smoke emitting from the top of the flume here.
Yep.
Okay. So I'll leave that burn, and I'll burn the other retail grade additive product there. You can already see hints of smoke coming.
Yeah.
Emitted. See that black line on top there?
Yep.
So you definitely do not want to add anything in your fuel that will create a more incomplete combustion or dirty burning. On the new Tier 4 emission controlled engines, adding an additive that burns dirty will increase the regen cycles, limp mode, and will decrease the life of the diesel particulate filters. Now, sometimes some different additives, you might see a little bit of bubbling in it. I don't know if you can see it from here. That shows that into this additive, there's already a little bit of moisture, which again, you do not want to have in any additive or any fuel. So we're going to let that burn off, and I'm going to get set up for the next test.
Yep.
Is how the additive behaves with water and moisture. One of the PDF sheets that I sent you, Vic, has the visual pictures of those tests.
A bit of a difference, isn't it?
Oh God, yeah. Straight away.
So depending on where you're at with the client, during the burn down test is an excellent opportunity to talk about their fleet, how much fuel they use, what kind of equipment they have. It gives you about 3 or 4 or 5 minutes of conversation time to learn a little bit about the problems that they're experiencing in their equipment and how we might be able to solve those problems.
Yeah, it's going to be.
So just so that I'll kind of show you how I'm set up here. So at the back of our shop, I put a over thing like this here.
Yeah.
And then I put a it's for an evacuation thing. And then I've got a fan sucking it out on the back outside.
Right.
This is our back. Okay. So before I jump into the water test, one of the other tests is and this is only for diesel, not on gasoline, is the combustion residue and lubricator test. As you can see here with the Xp3 product, there is a clean golden yellow lubricating agent left behind.
Yeah.
And that's what you want. So there is such a thing as not enough lubricity, too much lubricity, or the wrong kind of lubricity in a diesel additive. If you put your finger on this and you rub them together, it'll be like super silky smooth. And once this one finishes burning down, you'll see the big difference between these two from the standpoint of how they add lubricity for oil injectors and injector pumps and diesel fuel. You can already get a clue on the side. You can see that it burned dirty on the edge.
Yeah.
And it's still smoking black.
Is this additive Is this additive just off the shelf?
So this specifically is this additive here.
Yeah.
What I would recommend you do, like as you can see here, we've done a lot of testing for different types of additives and different bottles. What we'll do is we'll take a bottle that a customer's been using. Here in this case, it's a $16 bottle that treats 1,000 liters.
Yeah.
And then we do the different tests on it. And then sometimes what we do afterwards is we trade a bottle of Xp3 for one of their bottles, because after they see this, they're not going to use their other stuff.
Yeah.
And that's how we've been able to accumulate, quite a wide variety. But when I first started this 7-8 years ago, I just went to the Canadian Tire and bought the common off the shelf. I bought 10 different additives right off the shelf, and I did the test with all of them. So as that burn,
I'd go down today and do it, but we're in lockdown.
what do you mean? Oh, in person?
Yeah, we were going to go. Basically, we're in lockdown, so it finishes 6 o'clock tomorrow night. So we're all stuck at home.
Okay, we'll let that finish. I'm going to put that aside here carefully. And the aluminum can does get really warm, so you got to just be careful of that. Oh, the other thing too, Vic, is I always ask them permission to do a burn test in their shop, and I also ask them if they have a fire extinguisher handy, which I've never had to use, but you just never know. Okay, this here is the Xp3 diesel product.
Yeah.
In a clear test tube that I've given. I think I included 20 in the shipment. And this is just a bottle of water. If you can get like from the cosmetic, just a little thing that dispenses water.
Yeah.
And then you just put a couple of drops, and you should be able to see as soon as the water touches the Xp3, it starts breaking it down from a haze to back to clear. I don't know if you're able to see that in the video.
I can see that.
I'll do it again here. So what it's doing is it's attacking the water molecules and breaking them down in less than 5 micron size, fully dispersing it in the fuel or through the additive, so that it will never come out of suspension. The other thing that is important to show or tell is that in a fuel additive, you do not want alcohol in it. Some products will give the same appearance of breaking down the water, but if you check the MSD sheet, they have alcohol in it, and as soon as the alcohol evaporates, the water will fall out of suspension back down into the tank.
Yeah.
This is the other product, off-the-shelf retail grade.
Okay.
You could see it was right to the bottom.
Yeah.
So being able to visually show how Xp3 is different has a large impact in educating the clients between the difference between retail grade additives that are off the shelf and industrial strength commercial grade additives that are used by industry. Now let's go. Any questions on the water test?
No, we're good.
Okay. Now we'll go back to the competitor's product. Very sticky. I'm not going to put my fingers on this, but this is like a cotton swab.
Yeah.
If you use a cotton swab to do that, you can see how gunky and sticky this stuff is. It's actually lifting up the can. So this type of additive not only will make things more dirty in your engine, but can also lead to injector stiction issues. And of course, internal parts of your engine being dirty. You can see it here.
Wow.
And then I'll do the same thing on the Xp3 with a new swab. You can see how much cleaner
Yeah.
and consistent it is compared to this other one. So one is literally black, the other one is gold.
Jeez.
And when you ask the client, what would you prefer running in your engine? Always, of course, I want the cleaner or better stuff. So that's basically the visuals, the visual test. I'm going to go back to my desk. If you give me 1 second, okay?
Yep. Understanding all that?
Yeah.
You can handle all that?
Yeah.
You can give me the swabs?
Yeah, we'll start online.
Cool.
You just call them out.